Within the PerfectForms environment, it's possible to use a form as a data source for other forms. This can be particularly useful if you don't have reasonable access to a database system. Furthermore, Forms connections do not require installation of the PerfectForms connection agent. The configuration process for Forms connections is broadly the same as for database connections. From the Connections dashboard, use the New drop-down and select the Form Connection option. Enter a recognizable name and then press the Select button to choose which published form you want to use as a data source. Click the Apply Changes button to save the details. Applying permissions to use or edit the connection is managed in the same way described in a previous tutorial. Actions are also created in a similar way to other connection types. Start by pressing the New Action button, include a recognizable name and choose an action type. Note that with form actions, there are only 3 options. The read action will, as the name suggests, read data from the form instances. The insert action will create a new form instance in the background and populate the fields with data. And the update action will update data in an individual form instance. There is no delete action, as the privilege of deleting a form instance rests only with the form owner and cannot be achieved dynamically using connections. In this example, we will use the most common option to read data from the individual instances. Send and return parameters are used in the same way as for other action types, but with the form action, if you double-click in the field column, a dialog box will open from which you can select the field in the instance that you want. In the job description form that we are linking to, there is a radio button group to mark an individual job as active or not active, and this can be used as a filter so that only jobs marked as active are returned. In the return parameters, we will select the fields that we want data returned from. Finally, once completed, we can click the Apply Changes button to save the action details. With a form connection, each individual instance of a form would normally be considered as a single record returned via the connection or action. However, do be aware that when the form includes one or more table objects that you are reading data from, then each row in the table will be considered as a single record, with data outside of the table being common for each of those records. Take care if you read data from 2 or more tables, as that can greatly increase the individual number of records returned.